Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. We are again in the final hour of the trading day, my favorite time to make my buying and selling decisions. I was explaining this to a friend of mine last night, and she said, "Why do you trade at the end of the day?" And I said, well, during the day, you have the day traders and the algorithms. They are in control of the price. I consider it mainly noise. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in. They're dealing with a lot of money, very smart people, best information, best technology, and they start making their decisions at the end of the day in that last hour, and they take control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithms. And in the long run, I feel like following what the large financial institutions do provides you with an edge rather than just buying in the middle of the day. So that is why I do that. So thank you all for coming. It's always great to see everyone. I really, honestly, sincerely do look forward to this time of the day and seeing everybody here in the chat. Everybody has such great contributions, great questions, and thank you all for making this such a nice little trading community. So today, the Dow Jones is currently up 518 points, up 1.93%. The NASDAQ did wake up a little bit today. It is up 187 points, up 1.71%, and the S&P is right in there, up 55.36, up 1.67%. So big green day. Last couple days have been green, which is counterintuitive going into the election, but you never ever know, do we? Tonight the futures may go up crazy, they may go down crazy. I just don't know. I've been conflicted about it. The entire day speaking with Kamal, I was getting his take on things, and where it all ended up was I am conflicted about this today and unsure, and I feel like this is a earnings announcement for the market. So therefore, with my current positions, I will be taking off half of my positions today. I'm not going to be entering any new positions today. And I did cover my put in Amazon, and I'll go through and show you. But, I think it's a good lesson whenever you're conflicted, whenever you're torn, either just do nothing, or what I like to do is the 50-50, where I get rid of half, and then that way, no matter what happens, I'm happy. If it goes down, I'm happy that I sold half. If it goes up, I'm happy that I still had half. So anyway, I think kind of a good teaching moment here for that. So, all right, well, listen, here is the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them for going forward. I did have a couple day trades today. I will share those with you as well. After that, we are going to go down through the board on the screen, which are your positions, and a lot of green over there, a couple little reds, but a lot of green as well. So that will be fun going through those. After that, we're going to talk about my favorite subject, trader psychology, how important it is. And it's really the main, most important skill you can learn in trading is to be able to create a plan and follow it, right? And it's easy to say, it is hard to do, as I am an example today of this. But I really don't feel like I'm not following my plan. I just feel like because of the possible volatility of the market with the elections here today, I just feel like it's a smart move. It's kind of an extenuating circumstance. So anyway, that's what I'm telling myself, right? So after that, there are some pretty good setups today, I have to say. I've gone down through the watch list. I've gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner, and there are some that look good. I have 3 requirements when I look to enter any trade. First of all, confluence or a combination of indicators on multiple time frames. Requirement number 2, I need a good risk to reward ratio, at least 2 to 1. So if I'm risking $100, I need to be able to make at least 200 or more to the upside. And number 3, very important, take a few minutes each day. How much account heat do I have? In other words, how much of my total capital is at risk? How many correlated positions? Am I heavy in any one area? Can I get outside of equities like gold or bond or silver or oil? So those are the three things. Those are my three criteria before I take any trade. So like I said, there are some good potentials today. And I am not going to be taking those, but we are going to go through those anyway. And I will pick my favorite of the day. After that, when the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. If you need any clarification on anything, I'm happy to answer it, clarify. If you would like me to give you my opinion on any of the stock symbols that you're interested in today, if you'd like my opinion before the end of the close or before the end of the market, put them in the chat, and I'm happy to give you my opinion, and I'll do my very best to get to them. Just put an asterisk or an emoji by it. And then lastly, if you have any new positions today, entries or exits, if you could please wait till the end of the day to let me know what they are, so that I'm done trading, done teaching, markets closed, pressure's off, and then we'll get them all taken care of. All right, so that's the plan for today. Hang tight. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let's see who's here today. Brian is here. Hey, Brian, good to see you, bud. Hey everyone, it's been a while, but glad to listen to the best traders on the best podcast in the world. Oh, well, that's very kind. And you're right here in the podcast with us. So thank you, Brian. Glad to have you back. Hope you've been doing well. Brian says, hey, Frank, I have a poem that I hope you will like. It just felt that it was fitting to give it during this moment in time. I am glad that I am posting. Oh, fantastic. We got a double poem today. Talal says, hello, Greg and group. Hello, Talal. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well, sir. Talal says, I really like the daily poems. Please keep it on. Grin. Brian says, fellow traders, this may be the best buying opportunity in our lives, but be cautious, do homework, because there may be many fallen knives. That is so true. That's why I've been torn today, Brian. Exactly what you said in your poem. Fellow traders, this may be the best buying opportunity in our lives, but be cautious, do homework, because there may be many falling knives. Very good, Brian. I didn't even know you were a poet. Look at that. Thank you, sir, and appreciate you coming back and visiting the group. Hello, Miss Ava. How are you, ma'am? It's nice to see you. I hope you're having a good day, my friend. Dan is here. Hello, Greg and the Gossets. Hey, Dan. Good to see you, bud. Tracy Peterson. Hello, Tracy. How you doing, my friend? Good afternoon, Greg and all. Good afternoon, Tracy. Hope you're doing well. Hope that you will tell Paxton hello if he's sitting there with you. Gary says, hello, Greg and group. Very green day today. Boy, I would 100% say, good to see you, Gary. Steve Burns, the great Steve Burns. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. Appreciate you being here as always. Really, I mean that, and I know everyone else is excited to see you in the chat. It's a real honor. Steve says, I just exited my DIA trade for a 4.07% return in 3 days. Fantastic. Fantastic. And that is on the stocks to go through, so we'll be highlighting that in a second. Miko says, hello, Greg and everyone. Hey, Miko, good to see you, bud. Nice chatting with you last night. And hey, I did get your email. Why don't we just schedule another call and we'll go over that together? It'd be easier for me to do that over Skype than it would to try to type it to you. Okay. Kamal is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Thanks for your friendship. And Kamal is my trading partner during the day. Very grateful for that. Steve says, I exited DIA today based on the 50 RSI and the 50 EMA confluence of resistance. Yeah, it's up there pretty close. I think on my chart, it did not reject the 50, but maybe our charts are a little off. But on my chart here, it got close to the 50 RSI. Did not quite get there, and the 50 RSI is up there a little bit. But a couple gaps here we have today, which sometimes tend to get filled. But hey, 4% trade, 4.0% trade is fantastic. David is here. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. Thanks again for the pointing out the BRKB trade. That's the reason I took that, because David pointed it out, and it's worked out really well. Talal says, I exited my ally, my last third at 28.72. All right, well, it's 28.54, so you got some right at the top. Very nice trade, Talal. Up 4.63%. That is fantastic. Frank says, hello, Greg and group. I did exit Apple 111.20 for a small profit. Okay. All right. Well, I will take you off of Apple, and nice job on the profit. Zach says, hello, Greg and friends. Hello, Zach. Good to see you, bud. Steve says, 5 stars, Brian. I 100% agree. Tracy says, Paxton says hello to you. Hey, Packy. What's up, my friend? Brian says, thanks, Steve. Miko says, will do, Greg. Thanks. Steve says, I traded zones, not exact numbers. Yeah, that makes sense. I kind of do as well, actually. I think Kamal and I were talking about this. It had more to do with day trading, but that's the exact word I used, is zones. Okay, let's take a quick look at DT for Kamal. Dynatrace, pretty good risk to reward here. Under 30, over 30, under the 200, over the 200. I think it's slightly below that negative third ATR channel. I'd like it a little bit better, but I mean, it's a good risk to reward ratio, no doubt. On the weekly, we got close to bouncing off the 50. I think we're stuck right in this kind of purgatory here between the 50 moving average below and the -1 above. But from a risk to reward standpoint, yeah, it's a good risk to reward as long as it closes over the 200. Amazon. You know, it's a V2, but day one's bar is larger than 1 ATR. We did wash out yesterday. Currently, we are above day one's close. You know, MACD is really strong momentum to the downside. I don't really see anything here. I mean, I think there's better, is my point. Yes, it's a V2, but you know, there's contributing factors as well, like divergences, double bottom divergences, moving averages below. I would not. I actually got out of my Amazon puts today. I'll talk about that in a minute. But I'm not super thrilled about Amazon. I mean, this one here I like much better. GSX, we have this sideways motion here, Kamal. We have a V2. We went under 30, over 30. Plus, the main thing I like here is this sideways motion. The false breakout to the downside, the reversal back up, the 200-day below. I mean, look at the difference between the two. Amazon, yes, V2, but it's come down. GSX created this range, false breakout to the downside, back up, under 30, over 30, so that's good. V2, that's good. 200-day moving average below, that's good. On the weekly, we're hanging on above the -1 ATR channel. I like GSX much better. Ava says, how is Lulu for a V2 setup? Let's take a look. So it is a V2. You are correct, Ava. Here's day 1, 2, 3. Day 2 washes out day 1. Day 3 is closing above day 1's close. We also washed out this previous low. So this is what's called a false breakout to the downside plus a V2. Here's the false breakout. Here's the V2. But with that said, we still haven't been strong enough to go above the 50 RSI. It's okay, but you know, I just got to tell you, there's something about it I don't like. It's just this heaviness up here The 50 RSI is above. All these moving averages is above. I just don't think the risk to reward's very good. I mean, let's say we can go to the 50-day moving average up here. Well, that's from here to here. Your stop would be from here to halfway the washout bar. So I guess what I'm saying here, I just don't like the risk to reward. Frank has a poem. With every election, we make a selection of who the best one will be. But just like a stock to which we all flock is an action requiring you and me. So get out and vote, because really that's key. Well, that was very timely, Frank, and a great poem. With every election, we make a selection of who the best one will be. But just like a stock to which we all flock is an action requiring you and me. So get out and vote, because really that's the key. Excellent, Frank, and just perfect for today, isn't it, everyone? Frank is, not only can Frank write poems, not only does he understand the nuances of trading psychology, he's what's the word? Timely with his quotes, whether it's Halloween. I'm sure we're going to have some Christmas ones. It's just awesome. Thanks, Frank. Steve says, I currently have no signals right now, so it looks like I will be going into election night flat. I am happy with that. Hey, you wrote a poem there, Steve. I currently have no signals right now, so it looks like I will be going into election night flat. I'm happy with that. Look at this. I know that wasn't a poem, but it could be. It could be. Steve gave us our first poem. All right, here we go. Real quick. Berkshire Hathaway. David and I did buy Berkshire Hathaway back here on the 30th of October. We tested the 200-day moving average 3 times. Once we bounced, second time we went under, over, third time we went under, over. In addition to that, we also went under the 30, over the 30, under the negative third ATR channel, over the negative third, got in at 201.44, had some nice profit targets yesterday. Today, I hit 3 profit targets. Actually, the first profit target was here, so a gap. So this is really what it looks like, here, here, and here. So I did hit 3 profit targets. This has been a really good trade. From entry to current price, up 2.74%. It has rejected the 50 RSI. So I will be taking half of my position off today, unless by some miracle it closes over the 50 RSI. But glad I hit that last profit target right up there near the top. But again, I will be taking off half today, in addition to the profit targets I'd hit. So thank you, David, for pointing that out. That was a wonderful trade. DIA. All right, so Steve and I did buy DIA. We bought it on different days. I bought it here at 266.24 with an under 30, over 30, rejection of the 200 plus a V1. I bought it at 266.24. Steve bought it at 263.76, so he got a much better price. Today, we have hit some profit targets yesterday, hit 3 profit targets again today. This has not rejected the 50 RSI. However, it has rejected the negative 1 ATR channel. It has rejected the 20 EMA. And because of the election and the potential volatility, I will take half of this off today, in addition to the profit targets I've hit. KMX. Oh, this was a monster. So Gary and I are in KMX. I bought it yesterday at $89. Higher low V2. I did take one here. I had to get out for a loss, but I like this one better yesterday. If you remember, we had a higher low V2 and a close back above the 200-day moving average. Bought it at $89. Hit 3 profit targets today. It's up 5.01%. Again, this did not reject the 50. It's held the 50, but still, even with the 3 profit targets and even holding above the third ATR or the 50 RSI, I am going to take off half of this today. Again, I'm looking at this election like in earnings for the entire market. If it goes down tomorrow, I'll be glad I took half. If it goes up tomorrow, I'll be glad that I have half. So hope that makes sense. SPY. Well. I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk. I sell it first thing the next morning. This is based upon a long-term back-tested study from Liz Ann Saunders. She's the chief investment officer over at Charles Schwab at Bespoke Invest on Twitter since 1993. Tested two approaches. First approach, buy the SPY at the open, hold it through the day, sell it at the close. This approach did not backtest very well, a negative 13.9% return. The opposite is the one I use. Buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk. That's where the edge is. Sell it first thing the next morning in positive 634.2. So positive 634.2 compared to negative 13.9. Doesn't mean it's going to work in the future. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. But if I'm going to allocate money towards something, it's going to be something that has good back-tested results. Blue line. Buy the close, sell the next morning. Orange line, buy the morning, sell the same day close. Overtime, it's not even close. The blue line, overtime has just gone up and up and up. Although there are significant drawdowns. This is not something with a high winning percentage that you go, oh, I'm just going to make money overnight. Sometimes for years you do, sometimes for years you don't. So if you're considering using this approach, use a small position size of your capital. I think a good starting point would be 5%, but if you're going to use it, be consistent with it. Now, just as I say that, I am not going to take the SPY today. Again, it's a kind of extenuating circumstances. I am not going to buy the overnight SPY today, just because of the election tonight. Just as I tell you to be consistent with it, I break the rules. I'm sorry, but this is a little bit of a unique circumstance, and so I am not going to buy it today. Liz Ann Saunders will never date me again. Now I have missed 2 days out of 2 years of buying the SPY, so she's not going to be happy about that. But that's my decision, and that's what I'm going to do. Also, everybody, I did buy a SPY put today, expiring Friday. It expires Friday. I bought the 355. I typed it in wrong to Kamal, and I typed it in wrong here. 335s. I bought the 335 puts expiring on Friday. If I'm wrong, the market goes sailing up, I'll lose $564. But I wanted a little bit of hedge, so that's why I bought these. Puts. Okay. Amazon. I did sell Amazon puts down to $2,100, expiring January 15th. I sold them at $1,229. I did get out today. I covered them at $9.18 for the same reason, possible volatility. I made money on the trade. I still like the strike price of $2,100, but if it does go down tomorrow, I'll probably just rewrite them for a larger amount. But I did cover these in the middle of the day for profit, luckily. VIX on today trades. I did buy VIX here with this higher low V1. I bought it at 24.83, moved up my way, had a big strong move up. I always take half whenever that happens, out here at 24.93, and then 2 bars later came back down, closed below halfway of the washout bar. This was still a positive trade because I bought here, sold half here, but I took a loss from here to here on the other half, but this was wider than this, so that was a good trade. Positive trade, I should say. And then I had a short position on PayPal. We moved up here. You see how we rejected the 200-day moving average? And I should say, I always look at multiple time frames. I looked at the 39-minute chart, which is a time frame higher than the 5-minute. It rejected on the 39-minute. It also rejected this previous high, and it rejected the downward sloping 20 EMA. So that's when I looked at this. I said, okay, if I get a short based on the 5-minute, based on the 39-minute, I will take it. I took the short here. The trigger was a rejection of the 200-day. Next bar moved down immediately my way. I took half, came back up, flirted with the 200-day moving average, moved down, a little bit back up, almost closed above it, but didn't. Had another bar down, took another half, and then I got out of the final amount here when we had a V2 and it closed back above the 50. So I shorted at 187.85. I covered at 186.39. I covered at 185.54, and I covered at 184.96. So that was a nice short trade. Now it's 180.09. So I guess in hindsight, it would have been good to keep a hold of it. Okay. Oh, and I forgot. I have VIX. VIX calls. I have a quarter of my position left. I bought the calls here. I sold half here. I sold the other half of the half right up here at 27.53. Right near the top. I only have a quarter of my position left, and the decision I've made on this quarter is if it gets back to my break-even point, I will just go ahead and get out, being that, you know, 2/3 of the trade was locked in at nice profits. So that's my plan there. All right, let's look at Apple. Okay, Frank did sell at 111.20. Is that what you said, Frank? Yes, 111.20 for a small profit. Okay. All right. I will take Frank off of there. I think that's the only, I feel like I missed somebody back here. Was KMX? Oh, it was Gary. So Gary is also long, but he sold the $90 calls against the position for 235. So if he sold calls, this move up is not good for that. But on the other hand, his stock is moving up. So basically, he has a covered call on this. All right, the Qs. Frank has a half position on the Qs here at 284.60. Was a half position. Has moved down. Of course, we are up almost 2% today, which is good. GDXJ, yes, beautiful trade, yes. Bought at 53.20. It is currently 56.06, up 2.21%. Very nice, yes. That is 5.35%. Brilliant. Walmart. Brian bought Walmart back here at 140.69. It is 142.65, up 1.6%. So up on the day, up on the trade. LVGO. Oh, this is trading today, or no, it's not trading today. No, it's not trading today. Okay, until they finish that merger. TQQQ. Gary is long TQQQ. He did sell calls at 131, and he does have a position, so he does have a covered call. And then Ally, Talal sold his remaining position. Very nice. I mean, I know this isn't exact Talal, but right about over 4% on the gain. So fantastic. So I'll take Ally off there as well. Okay. Steve says, LOL, happy accident poem. That's right. Talal says, nice one, Frank. Frank says, thanks, Kamal and Brian. Thanks, Talal. Gary says, Greg, I exited the Amazon spread with a 30 profit in 2 days. Okay. So you exited it as well. So we are both out of Amazon. Nice. Gary said, Frank, you are the master of poemcraft. I agree. Frank says, good job, Brian. Kamal says, Liz Ann Saunders is going to be mad. Strike 2. I know. I get to strike 3. She's done with me. She's going to be done with me. Talal says, well done, Gary. Frank says, thank you, Gary. The poem writes me. I am the only recipient. So it just comes into your head, I guess, huh? Glenn says, hi, Greg. Thoughts on TRI? Well, that's extremely strong, Glenn, for sure. You know, the way that I look at this, it's a little stretchy. It's a little chasey. I mean, this long term, this is extremely bullish. But I would not buy at these levels. It rejected the 1 ATR channel. If I really wanted to get into TRI, I would wait for a pullback, maybe back to halfway of this bar, or a pullback to halfway between the low here and the high here, maybe in here. A 50 RSI bounce would give you a really good risk to reward ratio, but honestly, I just feel like it's chasey at the moment, Glenn. Yeah, long term, it's very, very positive long term, that's for sure. Johan, what's up, bud? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Nice to see you back. Brian says, out of Walmart. All right. We're narrowing things down here. Frank says, in the long run, Lizanne will forgive you. I would hope so. I mean, I've been pretty dang faithful, I would have to say, right? I have been pretty faithful. Okay, what is it, 132? All right. Well, look. Let's talk a little bit about trader psychology before we start going down through the list and taking a look at potential end-of-day trades. As you know, I like talking about trading psychology. There's some really good Facebook, Twitter channels out there that do a great job of posting good information, good trading words of wisdom, if you will. And of course, one of my favorites is Trading Composure, at Trading Composure over on Twitter. He just does a really special job of posting about trader psychology. He really understands it at a deep level. Let's see what he has to say. How do I beat the market? You don't. You don't beat the market. You practice patience, discipline, and you act on your plan. Eventually, the market rewards you. And it's totally true. I mean, this is essentially what I was talking about the other day. If you focus on risk, the profits will come. If you focus on profits, then your losses are going to come. So it's the same thing here. How do I beat the market? You don't. You don't beat the market. You practice patience, discipline, and act on your plan. Eventually, the market rewards you. So you focus on what you're supposed to do, and the profits will be an after effect or an after thought of by focusing on what you're supposed to. Again, if you focus on risk, the profits will come. If you focus on profits, the risk will come, right? So what he's saying here, practice patience, discipline, act on your plan, focus on those things, and as a byproduct, eventually the market will reward you. It's very simple, but it's so true. It's straight to the point. And so I hope this helps. Please focus on your plan, focus on risk, focus on being disciplined. And if you focus on that, what you really want in the long run, which is profits in the market, then that improves your chances dramatically. But just don't focus on profits, because then if you're focused on that, how can you think about patience and discipline in your plan, right? So if you haven't subscribed to Trading Composure, at Trading Composure over on Twitter, I would really suggest it. And thanks, that helped me, and I hope that helped you. All right, let me do a little housekeeping over here, an account that I manage. Give me 1 second, please. Wow, what a green day. That's all I can say. It's a very, very green day. So again, real quick, Berkshire Hathaway, I'm I am taking half because it rejected the 50 RSI here, 3 profit targets. DIA has not rejected the 50 technically, 3 profit targets, but I am also taking half off just because of the elections. If not, I would not have taken half off because it has not rejected the 50 RSI or the 50-day moving average. But because of the circumstances, I am. KMX up 5.01% today. 3 profit targets is holding above, but again, I am taking that off today. I am not buying the SPY. Oh, forgot the SPY was great. I bought it at 330.20. I sold it at 333.72. So 2 nice overnight trades in a row. Very grateful for that. But again, I did buy SPY puts expiring this Friday. The 335 puts at 564. I am down on those. I bought them at 564. They're at 499. So I am down on those, but those are just kind of a hedgy hedge for any possible election drama that we have. Okay. All right. Kamal says, I am thinking of starting this SPY overnight trade for just today. Do it. Do it. You might. I think I feel pretty comfortable in saying I don't think it will be a small win or a small loss. I think it's going to be a huge win or a huge loss. That's my guess. That's my guess. But if you do, Kamal, let me know and we will get it all. We will get it all up there. Glenn says looking to buy try at 80. Makes sense. A little bit of a pullback. So 80 would be, yeah, that makes sense. Right in there. It just gives you a better risk to reward, right, Glenn? Ava says, could you look at TGTX and NUAN for potential V2 setups? Not looking to buy anything today, though. Okay. TGTX. Well, on TGTX, there is no V2 setup here, Ava. Yesterday could have been a V2 if it would have closed above this bar. There is no V2. There was none here, and there is not one today. This is a very strong bar, however, but technically speaking, it is not a V2. We've been able to close above the 50-day moving average, which is positive, but see, we're at 49.49 RSI, and today, earlier in the day, I assume, let's see, it got above, it basically got right above 50. You said you're not going to buy this today, but I would not even consider buying this today unless it closed above 50, because earlier in the day, it had already tested the 50, but there are no V1s on this right here. In NUAN, that's a V2. That is for sure a V2. Here's day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 2 washes out day 1. Day 3 is closing above day 1, which is good. Also closing above the, currently right now, above the 50-day moving average. I know you're not going to buy this. If I did buy this, my stop would be here. If in the future we close below halfway of the washout bar. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly rejected the -1 ATR channel above, which is good, although this is quite a big down bar. I would imagine the price will get right to about here before it finds some Fibonacci resistance. I don't think I would buy that, honestly. It still has the 10, the -1 ATR channel, and the 50 RSI as resistance above it. But anyway, I hope that helps. Talal says, Facebook looks V2 on daily and V1 on weekly. Might buy when it closes above 50. Yep. Again, Talal, one thing though. This is a V2, but it's a V2 when the day 1 bar is larger than 1 ATR. See how big this bar is? 1 ATR is from here to here, or from here to here. This is much larger than 1 ATR. So Carrie would not buy that because the day 1 bar is larger. Let's look at the week. Yes, it is a V1 on the weekly. But again, last week's bar, I think, was larger than 1 ATR. This one I could let pass, but this is a huge down bar here. And you see how we're stuck at right of 50%? So I would wait for, me personally, I would wait for a crossover on Facebook just to give you a little bit more confirmation. Frank says, this is a kind of market that if I come up with a nice setup, please talk me out of it. Just kidding. I will talk you out of it, Frank, for sure. Mr. D, how's it going, Mr. D? What about UAA long? Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, I would not go long there, personally. A couple things are going on here. We have a double top with a bearish divergence. Here's a high, very high green bars. We pulled back into red. Now we're right up near that high. See how low the bars are? This is a double top with a bearish divergence. That means this movement up here is lacking momentum in what that kind of indicates a potential for is if you go up strong, then come back and then try to go up again, but weak, there's a good chance you come back down. This is how Dr. Alexander trades. Dr. Alexander L trades. Also, we have this big down bar. We haven't been able to get outside of it, so we're range bound in there. I don't like that setup, to be honest with you. Kamal says, MOC orders put in for buying one SPY share trade in the spirit of Greg not taking the trade. Oh, how dare you. You're going to do one? Okay. All right. All right. Hey, you could lose $5 to $7 tomorrow or make $5 to $7 tomorrow with that, Kamal. So get ready for that. My bet is it opens minus 50 cents. Oh, I'll take that bet. I don't think it's going to open minus 50 cents. More like $5 one way or the other. One way or the other. Okay. VIRT. Okay. These are the potentials from the watch list. I would not buy this. It's a very strong day today, but we have already been rejected by the 200-day moving average. It's a bit of a warning sign. And it came from a lower low. If I had bought down here, I would be selling up here. So I'm not going to be buying something that normally I would be selling. PANW, Kamal and I were looking at this earlier. I do like this. Confluence of signals. We went under 30, over 30. We went under the 200, over the 200. We went under the negative third ATR channel, over the negative third ATR channel. Remember, 92% of prices catch support at this negative third ATR channel. So going under and back over gives it a better chance of going up because it's back in the channel. So under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third, under the 200, over the 200. And I liked that this didn't happen right in the face of big down moves. I mean, this was big down moves, but then we kind of moved sideways, had false breakout inside bar and back up. So I do quite like PANW. I'm not going to take it, but it does, on a normal day, I would take this. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly's good. We're holding the 100-day moving average. We're above the 50-day moving average. We have the negative 1 ATR channel above us, and we are at halfway of last week's down bar. So some conflicting signals, but from a risk to reward ratio, this does look pretty good. But again, I'm not taking it. Wing, well, we had a V1 yesterday. No, I really don't. I don't really see anything there that I like. I'd like to see it go under the 30, over the 30, under the 250, over the 250 to give a better risk to reward, or possibly, a nice strong close break back above the 200. GSX, I like GSX quite a bit. We talked about that one earlier. Nice sideways motion, false breakout yesterday, V2 back up, under 30, over 30. And cherry on top, we are very close to closing back over the 5-day moving average. If you see something that has been under a certain moving average for a long, long time and then it finally can close back up, that's kind of a sign that things may be changing. You can see we've been under that 5-day for this entire time. And now, depending how this closes, it might close above, but not just over the 5-day EMA, but also the base the false breakout, the reversal, the under 30, over 30. You have support of the 200 beneath you. You've already rejected the 30 RSI. I quite like GSX. We already talked about that one. STZ, Constellation brand, doing very well. Added another 5% after yesterday's big move up. It's just too far extended for me to get involved here. You know, people that bought down here, they are going to be looking to sell with any type of weakness. I think you're better off waiting for a pullback, bounce at the 200 in the 50 Fibonacci retracement area. DT, we talked about that. It's okay. I think I like PANW and GSX better, though. But we'll put this over here. Dexcom. Under 30, over 30, V2. The only thing, there was no sideways motion. This is just a down and an up, so I don't like that as much. TLND, that's strong. That is a false breakout to the downside with a V2, but we do have a big gap here, and I don't like the gaps. And this only traded 33,000 shares, so I wouldn't touch that with the 10-foot pole. VRTX. Under 30, over 30, back over the negative third ATR channel. This one's not bad. This one's not bad either. Although we have the 100-day moving average above us as resistance. I still like those other ones better. TNC, it's a false breakout to the downside with the V2 with the big gap. So I would not take anything with the big gap. Oh, old 5. So this is a V2 with the gap, but you see how we gapped higher, we came back down, we closed the large majority of this. Is not bad. Closing over all the moving averages, closing over the 50-day moving 50 RSI. That one is also not bad. PST too high. Pins way too high for me. Newer. False breakout to the downside with the V2. Looks like it's closing over the 50 RSI here. I still like these 4 over here better. JCOM. I would not buy that with the rejection of the 200 right there. That's a red flag already that it didn't have any buyers up there and sellers came in. So let's go through this one more time. Pawn, I do like pawn. I like the under 200, over 200. We moved down. We did find a little support. We came down, inside bar, then right back up. This gives a very distinct line in the sand. You know exactly where you're getting out if it loses the 200-day moving average. It's a little high on the RSI. That's the only thing that concerns me. It's at a 39.40. Let's see. If we came back down tomorrow, back to the 200-day, we'd be at a 36.60. Volume's not great. It's not even more than it was yesterday. Now I'm kind of starting to rethink on Pawn Palo Alto Networks. It's okay, but I don't like the risk to reward at a 39.40. It's a little extended. That being said, I think I like GSX better. You have the V2 here. You're only at a 32 RSI. So you know exactly where you're going to be wrong if it closes under 30. So I'm moving that to the top of the pack. DT, it's hanging right there at that 200. But this big move down here tells me that's going to be tougher to move back up. So I'm going to put that aside. And 5, let's look at the weekly. Right up there to the second ATR channel, 64 RSI on the weekly. Risk to reward is not as good. Yeah, my 2 favorite here in order are GSX first and PAN second. I would pick GSX first because it's a better risk reward ratio. Talal says, what do you think of DNLI? Well, Talal, I do like that we are pretty close to holding halfway of this. See the big up move bar on the volume? This is telling. This to me says going up long term. It's not surprising to have the bar come down and hold at 50% here. But there's honestly, there's really no trigger here. You would just be anticipating that this was going to hold. It may or it may not. It's unchanged on the day. We have earnings in a couple days. Yeah, I'm not hugely thrilled about it, honestly. Brian says, I agree, Greg. I see a whole trend of coincidence that makes it difficult to keep anything overnight. Yeah, Kamal says, I'm going to buy PANW. How about PAWN, though? What about PAWN, Kamal? No, I'm just kidding. Dyslexia. I said, I liked pawn. He goes, you mean pan W? I'm like, oh yeah, that one. Okay, so I better get to work. VWM seems chasey. VMW. Yeah, it does look chasey. I'm concerned that we don't have any volume on these bars. That is a little concerning to me. Okay, so I have to sell half of my Berkshire, I have to sell half of my Diamond, and I have to sell half of my KMX. So let me get to work on that. Okay, so I'm selling half of my Berkshire right here. I'm selling half of my DIA right here. And I'm selling half of my KMX right here as well. Okay. That is it. So I just sold half here, Berkshire. Sold half. Boy, I may have almost hit a fourth profit target, but I did sell half here on the SPY. And then KMX is a monster today at 5.10%. Unbelievable. I knew I liked that setup. I knew I liked that higher low break back above the 200-day setup. And I sold half here. I'm not buying the overnight SPY trade so that Kamal can show me up tomorrow when he buys the one and it's up $10. But I did buy puts. I did buy one put. I bought one put that expires Friday at 335. So I'm out of the money on that one. And then I still do have 1/4 position of my VIX that I'm also going to hold back to break even. So pretty conservative. Did close out my Amazon today. My thinking is that I like that $2,100 strike price. However, it could certainly fall $200 or $300. I mean, I had almost $1,000 in protection, but $200 or $300 point to the downside is would put me underwater on those puts at least till the time caught up with it. So if we do have a big down move tomorrow on Amazon, I like it. I'll probably sell the exact same strike price. but get more premium. And if it goes up, then it goes up, and likely the Berkshire and the half of the Berkshire Diamond and KMX that I have will also go up. So that's the plan. It's not perfect. I wish I knew the future, but all I can do is, take everything into consideration and deal with the facts that I have. And, yesterday and today were huge days for me. And I don't want to give that all back, but I still do have a position, right? Berkshire, Diamond, CarMax. And if Liz Ann Saunders will ever forgive me about skipping now the strike 2 of skipping the overnight SPY trade. Oh, VIX jumped up here. This is the 5-minute bar on VIX. So what is everybody else thinking about doing today? I'm very curious to see what the group, what their thoughts are, what they're going to do. I know Kamal's buying 1 share of the SPY. I know he is looking like he's going to buy PANW. Anybody have any thoughts of what they're doing? Anybody have any thoughts of if there's going to be fireworks tonight or if it's going to be a big dud? Well, look at VIX rolling here in this last 5-minute bar. Okay. Pawn and SPY. I know, Kamal, you don't have to rub it in. You're buying at market on close though, right? Talal says, I'll be voting tonight. Kidding. Yas says, big dud. Too much hype created. Could be 100% correct, Yas. Definitely could be. Definitely could be. That seems like probably the smart right analysis, right? That it's so much baked into the cake, yes. But on the other hand, I was trading futures back during 2016, and man, was it a cluster when that happened. Doesn't mean because it happened before it's going to happen again, but it was a cluster. They shut down the futures. It traded down so much they actually stopped it. But then, of course, we rallied. So I just don't want to go through it. I think my decision to take half off here, not take any new trades, I think it seems pretty solid to me. It feels good. It may not be right, but it does feel good. Kamal says, since I can't vote, I bought SPY. Welcome to capitalism. How dare you, Kamal? All right. Well, we are going to see. I want to know an exact price that you got this SPY trade, Kamal. And I promise you, sincerely, I will be rooting for the SPY to go up. I promise you that is the case. Because I still have long positions. But even if not, I would be rooting for you because I want you to have a good overnight experience. Okay, that's the market. I have no SPY trade to report, but Kamal does. Please give me the price. Hey, Johnson, good to see you. I sold some far out of the money covered calls in my investment portfolio. Okay, so he sold some calls. He sold some calls above to create a little time decay and premium. Well, good luck, Johnson. Kamal says, bought SPY at 336.03. Okay. Here we go. Wow, you got a good price on him at the end there. Good thing you put in a market on close order. 336.03. And I'm going to make this red. And I am going to put here Kamal overnight spiked trade explanation points. All right. All right. I got you there. 336.03. Oh, and Gary has puts also. Sorry. Gary has October 30th, 343 strike priced puts. So those were in the monies, and I bought one put expiring Friday as well. Okay, pan. Is that 228 even, Kamal? Okay. 228 even for Kamal. All right, we got you there, bud. Yes, no trades today, still in GDXJ. Yep, I saw that. What a nice trade, Yes. Beautiful. Talal says, thanks, Greg, and all. It's pretty late here, midnight. Thumbs up night. Aha. All right, buddy. Thanks for staying up late with us. Hope you have a good night's sleep, sweet dreams, and all that kind of stuff, and hopefully see you tomorrow. Kamal says it's down 50%. It's down 50 cents already. Gary says, oh, did you buy one share? Did you buy one share, Kamal? Or did you buy a real position? Or did you just buy one share? Gary says, I sold half of my KMX. Okay, I think that's a good. Still holding the rest with 90 covered. All right, so I'm going to just say here. Sold half. Okay. And we'll know because I have the vertical bar here on the day that we did it. And I know you did it the same day I did. Gary says, I am out of 343 SPY puts, Greg. I sold them last week for a large gain. Oh, okay. Nice. Nice going, bud. Yeah, you got this big move down here, didn't you? Perfecto. And you're out of Amazon too, right? Correct. Kamal says, I bought one share out of spite. All right. One big share. Oh, it looks like I big share. One big share. Position. Okay, we've got it in, locked in. Let's check what's going on after hours here. Apple's even. SPY is down 53 cents. VIX is up 12 cents. All right. Gary says, yes, out of Amazon. Love Spite at Kamal. How dare you guys? How dare you? I'm not going to share my SPY trades anymore. No, I'm kidding. So, I don't have a TV. I mean, I can watch stuff like the news stuff on the internet, but I am going to over to an old friend of mine's house tonight. She is making me a nice dinner, and we're going to watch the elections, which is fantastic. And I said, please know I'll be checking my phone the entire night looking at futures, and you'll hear me probably talking out loud like a bumbling person talking to myself. Are you kidding me? Down that much, up that much? Who knows? It might be a big bust, but I am looking forward to that. It should have been Liz Ann Saunders. If Liz Ann Saunders came in here, she would have taken the trade for sure. All right. Well, I guess I'm taking my SPY out. No, I keep it there because I have the put. That's right. So I have half of Berkshire, half of Dow, half of KMX, one little contract put on SPY, and I have my quarter position of calls left in the VIX. All right, listen, in case you forgot, I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. So if you are interested in taking lessons with me, I think you will really enjoy them. I like to teach. I really do. I've had really good success with my clients. I have traded for almost 25 years now. I have studied one-on-one with some of the greats like Stephen Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Kerry Lavorne, Larry Williams, and the course that I teach incorporates everything I've learned from these four gentlemen. It's a 15-hour course. Each session is 3 hours, and there are 5 sessions. So that's where you come up with the 15. But, I've learned so much from each one of these different gentlemen that I just mentioned. They have different approaches, and some approaches work better in certain types of markets, others in other types of markets. So that's why I teach that in the course, so that I have, a tool, I have a strategy, I have a setup for really regardless what kind of market we're in, trending, going down, sideways, all sorts of stuff. So that's what I teach in the course. It's a really involved course. It's one-on-one in the evening time via Skype. I teach the lesson, we go over the lesson, and then we just do lots and lots of chart study. And I put you in charge. You take control of it. Where are we getting in? Are we in? Are you out? Are you sure? Why aren't you out? Are you still in? Okay, that's right. No, that's not correct. We need to do it this way. But when we're done, you're going to be doing all the trades, and you're going to be showing me exactly, the decisions you're making, and I'll tell you, correct or not correct or whatever. But when you're done, you should really have it, and I know you'll be a better trader. The course costs $1,000. I promise you, it's worth a whole lot more than that, just because of the content, and also because of the personalized attention that you get one-on-one. So if you are interested, you can send me an email in the description of this video here on YouTube. You can send me a message on Twitter. I'll respond, say, hey, let's set up a Skype call. It's a free Skype call. There's no sales pressure. That's not why I have the Skype call. I just want to get to know you better, understand your trading and your goals, your challenges. Then it's a good time for you to ask me questions about the course. And then I'll say, when we're done, I'll say, it's really nice talking to you. Think it over. If it feels right, if you decide you want to do it, just email me back and we'll schedule it in the future. And then if you like today's podcast, I really would appreciate it if you would hit the thumbs up button. If you found it helpful, if it's helping you anyway, all I ask is that you take a couple seconds and hit that little thumbs up button before you check out of here. Kamal says, we hear Greg 5 minutes every day on the overnight SPY trade. Today I had to buy it. I'll tell you what, Kamal, how about tomorrow when we go over the SPY trade, instead of me doing the SPY trade spiel and explanation, if you were to type it in, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Thanks, Greg and group. Enjoy the fireworks tonight. Thanks, Gary. Hope you're doing well, bud. Dan says, thank you, Greg and Gossett. I'm going to try to be patient and nice to anyone voicing politics, regardless of what I think. Well, that right there would show great restraint and great maturity, Dan. So if you can do that, that would be fantastic. That is the correct way, right? I mean, we should all be able to have our own thoughts and feelings. But it'd just be nice if people wouldn't get in fights about it, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on. So anyway, that sounds like a good goal, Dan, for sure. Wait, let's check on Kamal's overnight SPY trade. Ooh, down 92 cents. Down 92 cents now. All right. Well, interesting day. That was kind of fun, everybody. That was definitely kind of fun. I appreciate everybody being here. I really do. Go out and do something nice today, like Dan. Go out and be nice and patient. If people are voicing politics, please don't get in a fight. Right? It show a lot of signs of maturity. Or just go out, hold the door open for someone. Tell them how much they mean to you. You know it's going to make their day. It will make your day. You'll feel good about it too. Or just to do somebody a solid. Just go out and help somebody and be kind and patient, right? And then if you could also please do that with a pet or any animal, just show them some kindness. I promise you they will appreciate it. If you have a pet, remember, they love walks, they love attention. Give them a little scratch under the chin, a little pat on the butt, throw the ball, give them a little cuddle, give them a little treaty big, right? And they will appreciate that. So one nice thing for a human, one nice thing for an animal would just be lovely. Johan says, thanks for the session, guys. Been a while. Hope you're doing well, Johan. Have you been flying lately? Hey, by the way, before I leave, can we just do a quick little vote? Do you think the futures are going to be up tomorrow morning, or do you think they're going to be down tomorrow morning? I want to do an informal scientific little bit of an informal scientific poll and see if we're anywhere close to being right. I think they're going to be down. I could be 100% wrong, but I'm putting it out there on the record. I think they're going to be down. Johan says, been to Australia and back. Oh, nice. Just a quick little trip over to Australia and back. Kamal says flat. Okay, Kamal's sticking with that. He might be right. He often is. Okay. Well, I'm going to go out for a hike, get cleaned up, go over to my friend's house, have dinner. Johan says, and just been keeping cash these few days. Okay. That sounds like a good plan. Remember, there's 3 valid positions, everybody. Being long is valid, being short is valid, and staying in cash is valid, and it is a position. Dan says, no clue. However, I've been reading Steve Burns' book. Excellent. The Moving Averages 101, the second edition, Dan. Brian says, down but up by the end of the week. I like that one. That feels about right to me as well, Brian. You know, the thing is, regardless of who wins tonight, if I knew who was going to win tonight, I still don't know if I could make the right decision as far as expressing in a trade. That's how complicated it is. If I knew exactly Biden was going to win, I don't know if the market's going to go up and down. If I knew Trump was going to if Trump was going to win, I wouldn't know if the market was going to go up or down. I really wouldn't. So, all right. Well, listen, have a good rest of your day. Enjoy this evening, and we'll circle back tomorrow and we'll take it from there. All right. Thanks for coming today. Have a good rest of your day now. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.